FNIS versus Nemesis. Let's not waste time here. 4's new idols for Skyrim. Designed alongside XP32, it requires 3 separate mod files: the Behaviors Pack, the Creatures Pack, and the Spells Pack. Over the years, it has become compatible with the majority of mods, making it a pretty safe bet for those new to modding. Its main selling point is familiarity. Due to the length of time on the scene, many more are aware of it and have experience with it. The original author has now retired from its development. It has, however, been handed over to the team at Nexus, so it's difficult to know where we stand with it for sure, as we rely on the team releasing updates to keep it going. The interface itself is rather dated now, having been released a number of years ago. It's hard-coded to certain types of animations, along with a hard limit on how many animations can be implemented into the game. For those interested in animations for creatures, FNIS will support this where Nemesis doesn't. But this could be the only real reason for using FNIS in 2022. Now, the biggest issue with FNIS is its permissions. Essentially, the author has control of the versions and structure, and without going into too much detail here, certain requirements were set in place by 4, and you had to abide by them for the mod to work correctly. So this gave 4 the opportunity to essentially deny mods from being released to work with FNIS, or it could be granted and you just have to wait for 4 to update 4's new idols. Now, with each patch created for FNIS, that was actually created by hand by 4 himself, so there could be a bit of a wait in between these patches being released. Think of the whole Skyrim and SKSE extravaganza. As far as FNIS goes, it was a fantastic step forward in the world of Skyrim modding. However, times move on, and that's where Nemesis comes into play.
A new hand.
Designed to achieve the same result as FNIS, but using different methods, the developer of Nemesis has done an incredible job creating a behavior engine that is not dependent on the developer of the engine itself, meaning you don't have to wait for updates. It's been designed to work alongside XP32 by creating a dummy plugin. Basically just tells XP32,
"Yep, I'm FNIS. Carry on."
Seems legit.
It's not that simple, but you get the gist. Nemesis handles more advanced animations, cause these mods don't have to abide by the rules put in place for FNIS. Installing Nemesis is actually easier, or at least quicker, simply because it only has 1 file instead of 3. Nemesis removes the hard limit set in place for FNIS. It replaces it with a soft limit. Compatibility-wise, if you exclude the creature animations, nearly all mods you'll come across will be compatible with Nemesis. Of course, I'm sure there are a select few that don't work for some reason. Now, whilst Nexus shows that Nemesis hasn't been updated since 2021, fear not, as the current version is perfectly fine to use with your game, and whilst this may have some issues, what doesn't? It's also worth noting that it is currently being written from scratch. Now, Nemesis and FNIS compatibility, it's a tricky one. Naturally, it's not quite that simple, as they not only both try to achieve the same things, but they do it in different ways, so it could mess with the processes somewhere along the line. It is possible to get them to both work together, but I'm not really sure as to what extent this would benefit anyone. Honestly, FNIS served us well for its time,
Thank you.
but I believe that time has now passed. Deciding between FNIS or Nemesis, it's really a no-brainer anymore. I do have tutorials for both installation of FNIS and Nemesis available here. Perfect time for a brew.